Hi guys, what's going on? It's Sarah J Speaks on the Late Night Script, and yes, I am still in the process of moving, so most of my videos will consist of this scenery up until I get into my home, which I am so excited, and you guys will be the first ones to get a sneak peek. Okay, so we've got a lot to discuss today. Today, I would like to discuss the topic of be you. Simple, right? Yeah, no. Being you is not easy. Trust me, I don't even have to know you to know that it's not easy because I know that everyone was made so differently, so beautifully, so boldly that it is not easy being you. It's not easy to walk in our truths. It's not easy to not be unmovable. And it's not easy to reflect and knowing that we have to make changes even if we don't want to. But the best part about being you is knowing what's best for you. So, with that attitude in mind, let's just look over the three most important things that I believe is necessary to being better you. So, first one is transparency. This word is thrown around a lot these days. Be transparent, be honest. Yes, own it. The best part about being transparent, no one can tell you what you already told them. No one can tell you what you already knew. More importantly, no one can get the upper leg on you when you were being you. You get it? So it's just, it becomes cyclical, but it's simple. It's be transparent, and that's what it is. Back in the day when I was a new student, a lot of times, people would say, oh, that's the new girl. We don't like the new girl because, oh God, it was just crazy. It was petty. It would be for anything. Oh, because we heard at her old school, she got made fun of. True. But 9 times out of 10, whoever was telling them that, I've already told them that. I was like, and you found out because I told you. So that's how I'd own that. That type of transparency, being honest and knowing what I did. And knowing what I did, if I did it, I felt comfortable to do it and I was okay with doing it. And because I did it, guess what? It's all good. So whenever anybody talked about it, it was like, and that's me. So moving along, right? So that's step one. Step two, being unmovable. And a lot of times, you think of that as, oh, I'm not unmovable, I can't see other positions. No. Being unmovable means you can't be swayed. When you know that you know that you know you, someone else can't tell you anything else about you because you're unmovable. You can see other people's sides. You can understand where they're coming from. You can totally agree and disagree and all that good stuff. That's a part of life. That's just being an open person. But unmovable, when someone tells you this is what you did or this is how you understood it, you could say, that's not even me. That's important. You definitely want to be able to have that type of footing. Thirdly, personal reflection. Being able to take time and personally reflect on the way you interact with people, the way you encounter people, the vibe, the mood, the language that you use with people, reflecting on that and saying, this is how I want to be understood. I know I said it like this, but this is what I meant to say. Taking that time to personally reflect is not only beneficial for you, it's beneficial for those who are around you, who you communicate with. And we all know people who know people talk about people. It doesn't have to be a negative thing, but it's always great when someone can say, yes, I was speaking to so-and-so, and they were saying this, and this is exactly what they meant about it. Having that personal time to reflect and being able to decide what's best for you prior to calling up the girls. So I have an example. Of course, I've encountered many experiences on the being you aspect. And I do believe that was one of the things that I just strongly had to work on, being that I moved around a lot. I went to 30 different schools, and that's elementary and high school included, 3 different colleges. It was very tough because the first thing you want to do is acclimate. And when you want to acclimate, you find yourself trying to pick up on what others do, and you want to emulate those things. You want to become those things so that you then fit in. I learned at a very quick age that there were just certain things that I just couldn't do. I just couldn't fit in. There were things I'm like, look, I'm going to take the L on this. So in the past, a few years ago, back in undergrad, I hung out with a group of girls and we just had a ball. Like, we would go to parties, we'd go to clubs, we'd go to strip clubs. We would just be out there. And as I got older, I personally reflected on how I wanted to be understood and received by other people, and I made decisions that the strip clubs wasn't the best move. Amongst it, producing anxiety, because when you're in a strip club, you think you want to throw ones, right? The side note, you want to throw ones and stuff. I had a lot of anxiety because I wanted everyone, I was an equal opportunist. I wanted everyone to get the money equally. So if I had 10 ones, I wanted to personally walk up to each stripper and give them $1. I know. Okay. So, side note. But anyways, I decided that going to strip clubs wasn't the best thing. But the main reason why I would go to these strip clubs with my friends, or go to these clubs or these bars, is because it wasn't about the location. I didn't see it as it being about the location. I saw it as me spending time with my girls. Like, these are my girls, these are my people, I just want to kick it with them. It was always about having a good time with them. But what they saw was that I genuinely was having a good time at that location. So when I broke it to them that I was not going to go to strip clubs anymore, they were shocked. I was not moving on that. I was stern. The answer is no. I'm not going to a strip club anymore. And they were like, Sarah, you had so much fun. Sarah, you used to throw the ones. And I'm just like, at this moment, I noticed, like, you're trying to sway me. And I get it. I know what it looked like, but that's not what it was like. So I had to let them know, like, yeah, I know I did have fun, but I was having fun because I was hanging with you. And when you're in strip clubs, you do as strip club goers do. But now that I have thought about it and I have reflected on how I want to be received, right, that wasn't the best move for me. So I had to not be movable on that and decide that attending strip clubs wasn't the best thing. And I had to be transparent, I had to be honest, and it was tough. So honestly, you just got to be you. People are going to talk regardless. People are going to assume regardless. People are going to come up with their own ideas, concepts about you regardless. So if they're going to do it, you might as well give them the best form of you possible. So at worst, they're only slightly wrong with their assumptions, So be transparent, be immovable, and just personally reflect on how you want to be understood and received by the world. And honestly, that's the best way to be you. There are other millions of ways to do this, but in a shorthand version, SparkNote version, I think it's the quickest way to think about it. So you guys think about it. Let me know what you think. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Be you, because can't nobody else be you better than you. And if you're busy doing someone else, then who's going to be you? All right. Thank you guys so much for joining in with Sarah J Speaks on the Late Night Script. Love you much. Talk to you all soon. Have a good night.